Imagine this for a moment. What if I told you that the difference between staying broke and building real wealth could be just $100 a month? The same amount people casually burn on streaming subscriptions, late-night food orders, and impulse buys they don't even remember a week later. And here's the shocking part. According to global consumer reports, nearly 62% of people believe they don't earn enough to invest. But the real truth? Most of them have never actually tested what even a small, consistent contribution can become. That was me years ago, tired of feeling like I was always one emergency away from drowning. I wasn't earning a lot. In fact, I started with exactly $100 a month, and that tiny number felt almost embarrassing at first. But what I didn't know then was that this small act would eventually reshape my entire financial identity. It all began with a strange insight I discovered while reading about behavioral economics. The human brain is wired to overvalue big goals and undervalue small progress. That's why most people never start investing, because the beginning feels too small to matter. They wait for the perfect time, perfect income, or the perfect savings amount. The mistake. They assume wealth is built by a giant leap, when in reality it's built by tiny deposits that compound quietly in the background. So instead of waiting for the day I could invest $500 or $1,000 a month, I picked the only number I could commit to without fail, 100. I treated it like rent, non-negotiable, automatic, invisible, and that single decision forced me into what I now call the silent investor mindset. Once that money left my account each month, the pressure to look rich faded, because I started feeling rich inside. It's funny how investing does that. It rewires your confidence from appearance to ownership. But here's where things got interesting. I soon realized another psychological trap. Most people invest emotionally, not strategically. They chase hype, panic during market dips, or wait endlessly for the perfect stock. Instead, I focused on something boring but powerful. I chose a low-cost index fund and automated the investment through dollar-cost averaging. $100. Every month, no drama, no guessing. And this tiny habit started building real equity, slowly, silently, consistently. Then came the moment that changed everything. One day, while checking my account, I noticed something strange. The growth wasn't coming from my contributions anymore. It was coming from compounding, money I didn't work for. Money that grew while I slept, while I ate, while I lived. That's when I realized the real secret. Wealth isn't built by how much you invest, but by how long you stay invested. And here's a twist I want you to remember. With just $100 a month at an average 10% return, you could potentially grow over $200,000 in a few decades without ever increasing the amount. That's the quiet magic people ignore because the beginning feels too small. But the most surprising transformation wasn't financial, it was psychological. I stopped seeing money as something to spend and started seeing it as something to grow. And when you start growing money instead of consuming it, your entire relationship with life shifts. Your patience grows. Your confidence grows. Your goals become bigger because suddenly they feel possible. If you take one thing from this video, let it be this. Wealth doesn't start with what you earn. It starts with what you keep and consistently invest. Even if it's just $100, even if it feels tiny, even if you're scared to begin. Because the moment you commit, even on a small scale, you're no longer trying to get rich someday. You've already started, and someday you'll look back at this tiny $100 habit and realize it was never small at all.